Hey baddies! I'm back with another gem, and today's gem is titled, A Dish Best Served Cold. So let's get into it. Spirit has already given you the recipe to your abundance, but it is your job to mix the ingredients and do the work. I'm sure you've heard the term, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. This applies in the spirit realm as well. Many times we find ourselves complaining about our circumstances, knowing we've only made one or two attempts, if that, to improve our situations. Then we consider ourselves having valid reasons to whine and complain as to why things haven't changed. But the proper term for those reasons is excuses. And it's time for you to stop making excuses and start applying pressure. The truth is, most of us have already obtained the recipe to our abundance, but we're waiting for someone else to show up and mix the ingredients. We've sat back, pouted, whined, and complained as we watched others receive their abundance while secretly placing judgment or envying them because our egos cannot fathom that someone outside of ourselves worked tirelessly to get where they are and had the nerve to succeed. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are people out there who've been handed the abundance on a silver platter. But you better believe someone is working relentlessly behind the scenes in order for their dreams to prosper. And besides, while you're judging, you're missing the point. 90% of the people you're gossiping about have broken their backs to get where they are, working late nights, missing quality time with friends and family, and maybe have even cried themselves to sleep in order to break generational curses that have prevented their family from evolving in order to receive their abundance. I'll give you an example. Around the age of 5, I prayed my current situation would be different than it was. I'll keep my prayer to myself. You know I'm private. Mind your business, okay? But let's just say when Spirit presents the recipe to your abundance, you will know. Looking back, I now realize Spirit heard my prayer and revealed the recipe to my abundance around the age of 16. Obviously, at that time, I did not realize my prayers were being answered. However, I did not question the fact I felt compelled to become a CNA while in high school. I just knew I was passionate about helping others. When I later came to realize its Spirit was directing me towards the first ingredient to my abundance recipe. My passion to help others only heightened as I began working at nursing homes, only to soon find myself reporting a registered nurse who had no business working in patient care for elderly abuse. It was clear she'd mixed someone else's ingredients into her abundance recipe, okay? Anywho, a few years later, I joined the Air Force as a cardiopulmonary technician where I helped transport critically ill patients on life support. After about 8 years enlisted, I transferred to medical administrative positions to administer care from an outpatient perspective due to my heightened sensitivity to other people's pain. As I'm sure you're aware, being a psychic empath allows you to experience others' feelings, pain, and emotions, so working so closely with physically ill patients was a bit heavy for me. During this time, I created a blog and then empowerment page that allowed me to continue doing what I love to do most, which was assisting others on their healing journeys. Realizing there were thousands of people needing to hear my truth only provided more ingredients to my recipe. But there were also difficult lessons I had to learn along the way. And this is where people get confused. Spirit will give you the recipe for your abundance, but you will be required to do the work. Spirit will also guide you through necessary lessons that must be learned in order for you to be capable of protecting your abundance. Let's be honest, if Spirit gave you your abundance without teaching you how to maintain it, you'd mishandle it. Or worse, it would end up in the wrong hands. I had to learn the hard way that not everyone would be able to accompany me on my journey toward my abundance. This was a very difficult lesson to learn, especially since letting people go only triggered my childhood trauma. I also had to learn there were people who enjoyed preying on my perceived weaknesses, hoping my abandonment trauma would prevent me from walking away from their toxicity. Spirit needed me to be strong enough to release these people in order to receive my abundance, and I am so thankful I have. I had to learn the hard way that not everyone will be happy for me, and some, to include friends, Family and significant others would attempt to instill fear or place doubt within me because they were unable to move past their own fear. I had to learn that I was different and not many people had as big a heart as I do. I had to learn to be okay with only giving to those I knew wouldn't attempt to use my kindness to their advantage. I had to learn that my gifts as a healer were being abused by others who assumed it was my job to do their healing work for them, while secretly stabbing me in the back. I had to break free from generational trauma, fears, toxicity, and pain in order to receive my abundance. So the next time you turn your nose up at someone who received their abundance, the abundance you weren't privy to see them work tirelessly for, the abundance you assume they do not deserve, the abundance your ego won't allow you to perceive, because why them and not you? Remember, you weren't there to console them as they lay awake in bed crying themselves asleep. You didn't do the work for them. You didn't console them when they missed their child's recital. You weren't a phone call away when they needed you, and even if you were barely listening because you were too busy thinking about yourself. You didn't make the necessary sacrifices. You didn't heal your traumas in order to receive, and until you do, you will not. Trust me, I know firsthand because I've done the work. I am literally almost 40 years old, and I am finally in a space to receive my abundance in all its many forms. Only God knows how tirelessly I've worked and how grateful I am to be where I am today. I can also assure you there is no one walking the face of this green earth who can dare take credit for the work I've done, because my recipe looks nothing like theirs. Moral of the story: if you want to receive your abundance, your complete emotional fulfillment, your inner peace, your happiness, your financial freedom, you must spend more time doing the work and less time wondering what others did or did not do to receive theirs. I truly hope this message helps. If you'd like to request a private reading or hear more about my Queen Evolve program, drop me a message and I got you. Until next time, and as always, I wish you all the best, and I send you peace, blessings, love, and light. Bye.